so today I am going to talk to you about what it was like clubbing in Hongdae. And for those of you who are not familiar with that name, that's like the party central of Seoul, like one of the biggest party places. And that's where I went to last weekend. And yeah, I went with a group of friends who were like, yeah, let's club surf. We had heard of a few places. Actually, one of my friends had been suggested by a drunk guy to go to these clubs, so that's what we did. First off, from our university, we had to take the subway, which was like an hour, a little over an hour, which to take the subways is really, really cheap. You pay less than $2 to do round trip pretty much. And the first place we went to was a place called the Secret Society. I don't know how many people have heard of it. I've heard it's pretty secretive. And it's weird because we were walking and we weren't exactly sure where in Hongdae this place was. All we knew was that the door was like an old Coke machine. That's all we knew. That's all we knew. So we were walking and we finally spotted it, and I tell you what, this place was secretive to find because it wasn't like there was a long line out. It was just there. So we got in. It was about 10,000 won for us to get in, which in American money it's a little less than $10, which is really good to get into a club. And so the Secret Society is like a hip-hop club. It's owned by, I may say his name wrong, Basco. He's a rapper here in Korea and he owns that club. And so that's what they did. They played a lot of like mainstream hip-hop from like the US, and then also hip-hop from like Show Me the Money and underground stuff that I had never heard of before, but was still really cool. And there were a lot of foreigners. It was an equal mix of like foreigners and Koreans. It was really fun because when we went in, there was a group of guys standing at the entrance and they saw us and they were like, hey, and we were like, hey, and one of my friends got hollered at by one of these guys. He was like, hey, what's up? And she was like, ah. So yeah, that happened. It was really cool. One thing that really threw me off that's been really different here with the club scene is like the guys will dance together, like in a group. They like get in a circle just like the girls do and just dance with one another. And I'm like, oh, that's different. I'm not used to seeing that. And it's not so much grinding. Not a lot of grinding, but I will get to that later on. So yeah, after that we decided to like check out these other clubs. There's MB1 and MB2. So the deal with these clubs is like you buy a ticket for one and you get into the other. And so to do that, it was like 15,000 won. So in American money, it's about 14 bucks to get into both of these clubs. And the really cool part is that you get a free drink. You get two free drinks, actually. You can get a free drink at MB1 and you can also get a free drink at MB2. So we decided to like slip into MB1 and check it out real quick. When we got there, it was very slow. There were a lot of flashing lights and the place itself was pretty small, but we went in there, got our free drink, and then left to check out MB2, which is supposed to be like the biggest one and the more popular one. So we went to MB2. I tell you what, it was packed. Like the kind of packed to where you can't even like get through and you're like pushing and shoving, like not even a fun kind of crowded at all. And one of my friends said the deal about MB2 is like there's been a lot of people who have said like they get grabbed because you're so close together. It's easy for someone to like Mr. Krabs you in the club and you not know it. So we went there, too crowded, we couldn't breathe, the bathroom line was hella long, but the music was good. They played a whole lot more K-pop in MB2. We stayed there long enough that we heard the music and it was less like hip-hop-ish as the Secret Society and more K-pop-ish, which is also great because I listen to K-pop. I heard Icon, I heard some like American music, like I heard Beyonce was played, Rihanna was played. So yeah, we left there and we wanted to like get some drinks in our system. So we went to this place called the Playground. I think that's what it's called. And it's really popular in Hongdae for being like this place where everyone gathers. And like they go to this convenience store, get their alcohol, and then go to the playground and just drink. Just everyone just hangs out and drink. And there is a playground actually there. It's not for adults, but there is a playground there, and it's like this huge open area. And there was a guy who came up to us, and he started doing magic tricks for like 20 minutes. At the end of it, he asked for money, but it was very entertaining. He did some magic tricks, and we met up with our friend. We went there to meet another foreign friend who goes to our university, and she brought some Korean guys with her that knew English very, very well. One of them had actually studied in one of the Carolinas. That's all I know. And so his English was very good. It wasn't hard to say their names because almost all of them had like an English name, which I thought was pretty cool. I can't tell you what their real names are because I cannot pronounce it. But yeah, we hung out with a group of them, and we headed back to NB1. I forget why. See, after the playground, my memory gets a little blurry, but there are parts I do remember. So we go to NB1 and we're dancing. Music at NB1 is similar to NB2, where it's like some hip hop, but also a lot of mainstream music with a little bit of like underground hip hop that we hadn't heard. So NB1 was more lit when we went in there. I didn't see a lot of grinding. Like parties here in America, it's like if you ain't grinding, you ain't dancing. But here at NB1, it was just like groups of people in a circle just dancing together, and occasionally you might see grinding. The version of grinding that I saw would be like swaying back and forth and the guy just conveniently behind the girl. That's all it was. There was like a group of 7 of us, and somewhere throughout the night, 5 people left, leaving me and my friend Ha in the club, just like in the dance floor by ourselves. I remember I somehow got into a circle of like these Korean guys dancing. I don't know how I got in the middle, but I got in the middle and I was dancing, and they were playing Rihanna's Umbrella, and so they were just like, hey, hey, dancing around me, and like for the umbrella part, they would do this over my head, and I was like, ah. I was not sober enough to like be like, this is weird, but it was really nice. They were really cool. And so this is the interesting part. So my friend Ha starts dancing with this guy who was, oh, he was attractive. He was so attractive. He even bought us drinks. That was so sweet. And next thing I know, I feel like a finger hit my shoulder, and I turn around and it's this like Korean guy. He's like my height, so I mean he was short, but to me that was like normal. So he's like, where are you from? Like he had the kind of like a thick accent, but I could understand what he was saying, like past the music and everything. He was like, where are you from? I was like, oh, I'm from the States. He was like, what university do you go to? I was like, I told him university. And then he proceeded to say something else, but I cannot tell you. Either I was too drunk or the music was too loud, or a combination of the two, because I have no clue what he said. So I told him, I was like, actually when I leaned in to whisper in his ear, we bumped heads. He was like, oh, sorry. And I was like, it's okay. So I was like, the music's too loud, I can't hear you. And so I turned back around and started dancing, doing my own thing. Next thing I know, I feel him against me, kind of like right up against me. Like at first it wasn't like immediate. It was like, I feel a leg against my leg. Now I feel another leg against my leg. Is that it? That is it. So yeah, it proceeded to like grinding, but not really grinding. Again, it was like one of those like swaying and the guy conveniently behind you. He then proceeded to put his hands around my waist, like very gentle, like not like gripping, but like kind of very fingertips. That's what I felt. The cringeworthy part of this entire story is that he was humming the music in my ear, kind of like how you would do if you don't know the words to a song. You just like that. It was so awkward. But again, I was so like, I didn't even care that much. But I just remember cringing just a little bit, and I look at my friend Ha, who's still dancing with her guy. She's like, and I'm like, So that continued for quite some time, and eventually at some point in the night he went to the bathroom. I looked at her and I was like, let's go. So we left and we had to find our way back to the subway. We didn't know where we were, and luckily we found this group. They were teachers. They're teaching in Korea, and they were like, oh, we'll take you to the subway. So they led us to the subway. Really nice people. Shout out to whoever you are. You were really cool. So we got back to our dorm at almost 7 in the morning. We had started the night off at like 11:30. Update, we will be going to Gangnam in a couple of days to go check out that clubbing scene. So I will be making a video about the clubs in Gangnam. But I really enjoyed Hongdae. The people there were super nice. A lot of foreigners definitely were there. And the club scene, it was cool. It was nice. I like the clubs in Hongdae so far, the 3 that we went to. If you guys go to Hongdae, you should definitely check out the playground, MB1, MB2, and the secret society. Definitely do that. And if you guys have any questions regarding my trip, I tried to say as much as I could remember, and I feel like I got the majority of it down. But if you have any questions, suggestions, comments, stuff like that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, which is below, and I will see you all next time. Bye.